Here's his storage setup.
Death pile is.
All right. Oh, come on. I'm going to peek.
We can't
Everybody's got to say, oh, shoot. If you think that's a death pile, you ought to come to my house. All right, everybody, I'm at Sonny's house. Sonny is a master picker here. He is full-time, right? Full-time? Full-time reseller, and he does, predominantly you do storage auctions, right?
I do, I diversify.
All right, you tell us what your setup is.
I'd probably say about 60% storage auctions, but I still go to Goodwill.
Okay.
Still go to yard sales when I'm not having my own yard sale.
Right. And you have, if I remember now, you have your own like garage space that you sell out of.
I do. I have 800 square feet that most of the storage unit items go into.
Okay. And are you doing mostly selling off? Are you doing a lot of Facebook Marketplace? You doing any Craigslist? What are you doing?
Very little Craigslist.
Yeah.
In this area, I don't get a whole lot of success there, but I know people who have great success on Craigslist with certain items.
All right.
But I would say I'm about 50-50 between eBay and Facebook Marketplace.
Okay. So what is, and I'm over here, just so y'all know, I'm over here looking at a bulk buy from Sonny. He looks like he's trying to get out of clothing. So talk us through what you think you're going to transition into and why you want to get out of clothing.
Pretty much the biggest reason is when you're doing storage units, you get everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got certain areas where I feed to other people, and as I go, I continue to narrow down what my focus is going to be.
So you're essentially wholesaling certain things off and then focusing on the thing that's best bang for your buck.
Best bang, more interest. You know, the things I like playing with.
What you like to do.
You know, the stuff I like dealing with.
I tell you what, in my experience, that is, I don't do shoes. I don't know why. You know, I do a little bit of shoes, and if I can make money on something, but it's just something I don't like to do. My wife does it a little bit, and that makes a world of difference, because if you don't like to do something, it just piles up. So what's your favorite thing to do?
Oh, I love oddities. You know, which you do come across a little bit more in the
storage unit stuff. No doubt about it.
Area than you do at Goodwill. Although you can find some funky stuff at Goodwill.
Every once in a while.
Video games, stuff from my childhood. Just like any generational
What interests
item.
you? Sure. Where do you buy your storage auction? Are you mostly online? Do you ever go to live storage auctions at all? Are you doing just online? Is it in Virginia? Do you go to North Carolina? What are you doing?
In this area, there are very few live auctions. There's only one or two local auctioneers around that do them anymore. Most of the facilities have gone to online platforms.
Yep.
You know, Bid13, StorageAuctions.com, you know, those types of sites. So I'd say I'm about 90% online.
Is that more and more competitive? Are you paying higher prices, or is it pretty consistent?
It's pretty consistent. This time of year, everybody's got their Christmas money in their back pocket, so you know, prices tend to go up a little bit. They're jumping in that haven't done it before.
Okay, gotcha. Think they can do it, and then don't realize it takes a lot to do it.
And your money can go real fast.
No doubt about it.
Careful,
yeah, no doubt. Plus, your space has gone pretty quick. If you mind showing us around your setup here, I always love watching people's setup. So you can see over here, he's got his picture set up. That's pretty simple. Just a nice little white piece of paper there. You got your light above.
I actually find
good
that
reselling
the
lights.
light above doesn't really work well with most objects. I rarely turn it on. I usually get better contrast with just the two side lights.
Just the two.
And I think it cost me $65 or $70
Yep.
for the two LEDs.
Yep, I have one. I use some other stuff. Here's his storage setup.
Death pile is.
All right. Oh, come on, I'm going to peek. Everybody's got to say, oh, shoot. If you think that's a death pile, you ought to come to my house. Ain't no death pile. Are you kidding me? Hey, are you shrink wrapping your own games here?
No, I actually bought those like that.
Really?
That was actually a flip. I had some items that I wasn't able to sell, so I brought them to the pawn shop.
All right.
So I turned money that I couldn't sell
into something you could sell. I like it. I like it.
And
what would you say a percentage of your sales are, if you don't mind telling us? Are most of your sales on eBay, or most of your sales marketplace? Are they mostly garage sale? Where are you making your money at?
Income is about 50-50.
Between?
eBay and Marketplace.
Okay.
As far as the amount of sales, eBay by far.
Okay. Just the lower cost
Small,
items.
Video games,
sure.
10, 15
and you're basically using your garage sale space to just unload things that don't work for either.
Correct.
Okay.
Or if...
Almost like a thrift shop of your own.
Exactly. And if it, like right now, since units are expensive, I'm not buying much.
Okay.
So what I do is I do some woodworking, build some furniture, and then I sell that out of the garage as well.
Awesome.
Got to stay busy.
I got you. Maybe I'll have to hire. I got somebody working on some stuff for inside of my shed. Maybe I gotta have to hire you too. I like this setup, y'all. Just a little tour around. You mind if I just give them a little tour around your basement here? Did you build this?
I did. Well, no. This I didn't build.
No.
That actually came out of a storage unit.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I could use that. Build a couple holes, put a
for sure. No doubt. And you got a pretty good organized spot here. I tell you what. But I noticed that you don't have a SKU system in here. Neither do I. So you don't have
small enough that I can manage it. If I were to move my inventory into my 800 square foot garage and add multiple shelves at this size, I'm able to manage it. As long as I've touched it, I know where it is.
Sure. Little box area back there.
Yep, boxes.
I love
and
it.
some tools.
All right, so that was just a nice little interview, and thanks for kind of giving us an idea of what you do. But is that a pound puppy over there? What is that thing?
That is a pound puppy.
I like it. I could come shopping in here, but I'd go broke in a hurry. And boy, you got a lot of shoes up there.
Yep.
Man. I came over here to look at some clothing. So you just basically want to shift out of clothing, space, time, and your resources are better spent somewhere else. Okay. Have you found that when you do list clothing, is it just too long tail for you? Is it not enough money? What's the biggest problem with it?
Honestly, the biggest problem that I have is that my photo station doesn't really work for clothing.
Hey, show us this real quick. You showed me this earlier. I don't know if y'all can see this up here or not.
I can't bring it down because it's...
No, you don't have to bring it down.
Right.
I'll show them down here. There's hinges down here. See the hinges up here? And so it swings down, and that's where he would do his clothing pictures.
Swings down, but in order to do that, I've got to move all my lights. And usually I've got so much going on. That's why all the clothing is just piled up, and you got to make a decision at some point whether, when you start to feather off, decide what you're going to feather off from.
Right.
And I looked at the biggest pile of stuff that I had.
All right, well, let's go, if you don't mind, let's go in there and let's talk about a little clothing. All right, just so y'all know, we're looking at, have you accumulated this over years? Is this like just out of a couple storage? Where'd you come across all the?
Oh, this is at least a year. I've maybe listed 20 clothing items over the past year. So I've accumulated all of it.
Yeah.
All of this over the past year as well.
Okay. Thrift stores and
thrift stores. Some of it out of units.
Right.
Storage units. Clothing can be a up or down type scenario. I get some good shoes out of units. I get a lot of Nikes. Vintage Nikes, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Clothing, a lot.
Do you get the boxes with them?
Pretty
often. Yeah. Are you eBay for that too? You're doing eBay? Okay. eBay. I know there's a lot of places.
There's a
Grailed, and there's a few.
Sneakerheads. I'll post it there and then on eBay.
Okay. How is the Facebook group going? You getting some sales?
It does pretty well on sneaker. You got to have the right stuff though.
So do you think there's about 200 or so pieces here is what we're talking about, and we're going to negotiate here, and I'm trying to think what I want to do, because this is a lot of clothing for me. It'd take me quite a while to get through this. Looks like most of it is pretty sellable on eBay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to try to come up with a price that works for both of us, that makes it worth my time, and is good enough for him to part with this stuff. And I wouldn't mind, if you don't mind letting me peek into the 70s clothing. You mind going back there with me?
That's fine.
All right, let's go take a look. Now, one thing we could do, if there's anybody out there on YouTube that wants to get into clothing, maybe we could wholesale it out to you. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but at any rate, this is some 70 clothing. Where'd you get this?
This came out of an estate.
Okay.
That I cleaned out about 4 months ago.
Wow. And this is all 70s stuff. And some of it's pretty cool. You say mod dresses?
Mod dresses.
A lot of them homemade.
Yeah. This is one of these.
Oh, yeah, you look good in that right there. That's nice. I mean,
lots of mod dresses. This is actually a jumpsuit.
now there was one piece I saw just a minute ago while we were in here. I wanted to peek at it, and I can't find it now. Is that shirt that had the...
That t-shirt?
Yep, that was a cool one. I wanted to see that. I never did open it up. What's on it, if you don't mind showing me? It says America Drag Racing, and it's actually vintage 70s. Is that a single stitcher? You mind if I look at that?
It's got to be.
Yep, it is. It has to be. Is right. You got it. So it's got some pretty cool stuff in here, and right now he's looking to sell it to a vintage clothing store in Richmond. So,
well, I'm in talks with them. If
right.
anybody else
Right.
interested.
So I know there's a lot of people who are local who watch this show, and we may be able, if I can't work a deal with them, and I'll let you know at the end of the video. So. Maybe we can look at this, but I'm interested in this as well, as long as it works. I'd like to dig through it, but I'd have to kind of dig through and get a good idea on these.
The at the storage, not the storage unit, but the estate that I went to, that I pulled
where you got this stuff out
where
of.
I got the vintage clothing. There were 8 of the huge wardrobe boxes. And a lot of them had, some mouse returns.
I was gonna say, how did it? Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna ask.
There were probably 1,000 pieces.
Really?
But the bottoms
and just awful shape. And
the bottoms of every box were just destroyed.
So you pulled okay.
Yeah, so I had to go through and pull out piece by piece all the stuff that wasn't severely wasn't damaged.
I just saw this one in here, y'all. Check that out. It's like That 70s Show. We're going to have fun digging through that one, huh?
No, too bad we didn't catch
Is that? Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, that one I kept, even though it has like some bleaching to it.
Yep.
Just because Butler. And it's got that rubber texture to the vinyl.
All right, well, we are going to dig through this, and we just came to an agreement. Sonny, you want to tell them what we agreed to?
$5,000. What we're going to do is I'm going to consign over to you. Going to let you have just as much fun as I did going through it and seeing all the individual pieces. And,
we're going to go through it. We're going to consign it. We're going to list it all. We're going to slowly sell it, and we're going to split the money.
And you guys are going to get to see it.
That's right. One piece at a time, just like Johnny Cash.
Hopefully it's not just a big ring of fire.
All right, man. Thanks. Sonny, thank you so much, and thanks for letting us have a peek into what you do. Appreciate it.